Thank you for joining us. Today is going to be our webinar on growing your business with CRM and marketing automation. We have a mix of customers on this session, so we have some people that are using an older version of ACT as well as those that are on current subscription. We're going to focus a little bit on CRM, but a whole lot on marketing automation and what that can do for your business. So let's get started. First of all, we are Platinum CRM Consulting. I'm Deborah, and with me are Platinum Consultants Renee, Bridget, and Clay. We are joined by Andy Wood. He is the ACT Marketing Automation expert. To us, we think of him as ACT Marketing Automation Rockstar, and we are grateful to have him here to help us demo the powerful product features. Really cool stuff that we're going to be showing. So with that, today's agenda, we have 1 hour time frame, and as promised, we're going to be light on PowerPoint. So we're going to cover a couple slides. Andy's going to do some demo, some more demo, and some more demo, and then we're just going to wrap it up for a few more slides. So first of all, Flip Page Purchase ACT back in 2015, and they've been really growing the product into what is going to be more of a connected, useful tool than just CRM. So with the development of the product, we've been looking at getting more features, connecting to apps. They also came out with the companion, which is the mobile app. The mobile app now has a business card reader, so it can scan your business cards and put them into your database. It also has heat maps where you can put in where you're located and get the people in your database around that local area. They just came out with that, I believe, last week. And then they developed the marketing automation. We're going to be discussing that. And there's a lot of new, powerful, cool features. If you have any questions on that, please reach out to your Platinum rep, and we'll be able to discuss any new features that can help your business grow in that CRM realm. But as far as today, we're going to be talking about what they call the ACT Growth Suite. It is a bundled product of CRM and marketing automation. So ACT Growth Suite is going to be an all-in-one sales and marketing platform, providing you the tool you and your team need to successfully run and grow your business. So why have marketing automation? Well, marketing automation is more than just email marketing. It is going to be fully integrated with ACT CRM. So you do not leave your database. You do not leave your program. You work with it right there. It's in the product itself. Saves you time when automating your communications and follow-up. And you can use your staff, whether you're a staff of 1 or a staff of 100, use your staff more effectively and reduce costs by automating those repetitive tasks. And you can increase your revenue by being able to focus on closing more business. Automation is the way to go to increase your business, reduce those costs, and utilize your staff more effectively. So with the ACT Growth Suite, there's going to be 3 tiers. The entry tier is going to be the professional, and then there's a premier and the ultimate. What drives what tier you need could be based off of the number of emails you need to send, but more than likely it's going to be based off the features you need. So with the professional product, as well as all 3 products, you do get powerful email marketing tools. You can create really nice looking templates. They're going to be mobile compatible. And then you also get landing pages, so you can go and capture your leads and gather information from web and be able to get that into your database. You also can create surveys, drip marketing campaigns, and it does have real-time metrics of who's looked at emails, who's opened or clicked emails, who hasn't looked at emails. You get that all back into your database, and there is a new marketing calendar. Andy will show that in a little bit. And then when you go into the premier tier level, that's where you're going to be seeing more of the automation features. So then you can get some more workflow, such as I can schedule activities for my sales reps based off of how people interact, whether it's going to be a landing page or a template email they received. What happened? Do I want to create an opportunity for them? Do I want to create a call? So again, you get this workflow features built into the premier product. And then you also get some more features, and Andy will be covering those as well. And then there is a 3rd tier that is going to be the ultimate tier. These are for our people that need some more advanced marketing tools. This is where you can do A/B testing, progressive profiling. So again, a lot more marketing focused tools for your business. With that, let me bring on Andy and look.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Andy. Thanks for joining us today.
All right, so I wanted to start off with the benefits of having the e-marketing bundled into your CRM. So when you have ACT Marketing Automation or an automation program built into your CRM, it makes everything that you would do so much easier. To give an example, none of the competitors like Constant Contact, MailChimp, they don't have a true CRM interface that goes with them. And so you'll spend a lot of time working with exporting lists, importing them into your e-marketing application, getting the statistics that you're normally going to get, and then you have to find some way to transfer that data back into it and make it relate to your database or your contacts, which can take a lot of time. So we're going to start off by one of the easiest things to do, which is creating the groups based on the data that you already have inside of your CRM database. So you spend all the time getting birth dates, getting information about your contacts, developing relationships, and you put all that information here into your database. You can have, your social updates, personal info about your contacts, a lot of different things that you can put in here. I mean, you can customize your CRM database however you want. And the wonderful thing about Act Marketing Automation is you can use all of this information, any of this data here in your contact, to create groups and then to send your emails based upon the information in those groups. I could use the create date of a contact. I could use who it was edited by last. I could choose the record manager. I could go to personal information, their city, the state, the zip code. I could even use their birthday if I had their birthday on file. I can even go a little bit further and I can look at like different information inside of the industry, like maybe they are a customer of my roofing company and they're looking at special types of information that they want to receive on different types of shingles that I have. Maybe I have asphalt or wood or copper or grass or maybe metal tiles. All that information I can take and I can create groups based off of that, and then I can use those groups to market to my campaign. So what we're going to start with here really quick is we're going to start by creating and then we're just going to create a new one. And so a static group doesn't change, which means that you add contacts manually to a group. To do this, what I would do is I would take a look at my total list of contacts and I would say, okay, I want all of my contacts where the company name is A through N. And so I'm just going to go ahead and choose Lookup Selected. And there I have all my contacts A through N. And now I can just highlight these contacts, right-click, and choose to add them to a group. If I come back here to my roofing static group, you will see that I have all those contacts with the company name A through N listed in there now. This is a static group, and it only changes if I manually add or remove a contact. So the other type of group that we have that we can create is a dynamic group. And this is where the real power of your CRM comes into play when you're working with marketing automation. So I can click on add and remove contacts, but instead of just manually adding each individual contact, I'm going to go ahead and choose edit criteria, and I'm going to add contacts based upon certain field values inside my database. The first one that I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the email field. So I want to make sure that all of my contacts that are going to be included in this group contain an @ symbol in my email field. That way I know that I have a valid email address in there. The second thing that I'm going to look for inside of these campaigns is I want to make sure that I'm not including contacts that have previously bounced or been bounce suppressed. So I'm going to include the field that I created for my bounce contacts, and I'm going to say that it does not contain data, because if it contains data, then that means that it has bounced in the past. And then I'm also going to do this with my opt-out field and add that to the list. So far we have email containing an @ symbol, and we don't have anything in our bounced or our opt-out field. And I'm going to go a little bit a step further, and I'm going to use some data from the campaigns that I've been collecting through the Act Marketing Automation sense that I've been doing. So I'm going to go to our campaign results, and I'm going to look at our open date. So I'm looking at all contacts that have an open date, and I'm going to say within the last 180 days. So that's the last 6 months, and I'm going to add this to the list. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and take a preview and see how many contacts we have in our database that match those descriptions. And I have 22 out of the 59 contacts that I have in my database. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK and apply that. And here's the 22 contacts that meet those criteria. So after we have our group selected, we know what our target audience is. So our next step is to create our e-marketing template. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here into Act Marketing Automation on the left. I'm going to go up into the upper right-hand corner and I'm going to choose New Template. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose the type of template that I want. Now there's 3 different types of templates that we have available. Marketing is going to be your standard marketing email that has images and text. You can put videos in there, social sharing features and stuff like that. Then we have our sales templates. Our sales templates are going to be something that's more like an Outlook email application. Just looks like a basic email. And then the third option here is specifically for our landing pages. What we are designing here is a skin, and so that just gives a backdrop or a design around whatever the form is that we create for our landing page. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose marketing, and the editor that I'm going to use is I'm going to use the drag and drop because it's super powerful. The other option we have for editor is WYSIWYG. What that stands for is what you see is what you get. And this really requires you to have HTML coding knowledge. So I'm going to go ahead and choose drag and drop. And then I'm going to choose one of our templates that we have available already, which is called cookies. And you'll see there's a little preview here of what that template's going to look like. Now, if I don't want to already have a pre-made template that has a design, I can always come up here and choose blank and then create, and then it's going to give me something to start with from scratch. I'm going to just go over a few basic features within the e-marketing editor here, and then we'll go ahead and show you guys a finished template and what they look like. So I'm going to adjust the width of my template. Industry standard is usually about 600 pixels wide. You'll see that I have global settings here. I can change my background color. If I know the color code that I need, I can type in the color code. I can change the content area of my background. So if I wanted to, I could change that to blue or a lighter blue. Or I could leave it white. And then I can change the default font for the entire template. So I don't have to worry about changing every single block inside of my template and making sure that the font is the same in all of them. I can change the font once here, and then the font type is going to be the same throughout the entire template. So I'm going to go ahead and choose, we'll choose the Roboto today here. And then let's go ahead and go on to the build of our template here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some rows and throw them into the template. And then we'll go over a little bit over the content that we have available. So we have our text block. We have our image block. We have our buttons. We have our social media. We have divider, which can separate it. We have our video block. And we can just kind of fill the rest in with text here. Text editing is pretty straightforward. You get your little text ribbon here. You can highlight text and you can insert a link or a URL or a file to that by highlighting that text, just like so. And you can choose the link type, email, file manager. You can use telephone numbers or SMS for mobile phones if you want to. Do keep in mind that all of the templates that you can create through the drag and drop editor are mobile friendly, so they will look good on a mobile device. And you also have the ability to turn on and off certain blocks inside of your template just over here by clicking on hide on mobile or hide on desktop. So you can make the experience look different for a mobile phone versus a desktop. Then I also have some special links that are available in here, so I'll show you those real quick. There are two special links that we have inside of our templates. We have our view to click at in a browser. I usually throw that up here in the top and right justify it. And then I have another special link here, which is our unsubscribe. I'm going to go ahead and add that. There's our unsubscribe link. And then there's also one other tag that's required in here, which is our company address. So I'm going to go ahead and add that for our spam compliance. Now, the features that we have here for adding images, you can upload your own images. You can import them from your social media locations, all that. When you click on import here, it gives you a list of options of all the different media types that you can import them from Google Photos, Flickr, Instagram, GitHub, Dropbox, Gmail, Facebook. You can link the URL. Those are some of the ways that you can get your images in here. And then we have a very large library of over 500,000 stock photos that we can search on to pull up images that we might want to use. And so we can go ahead and just click on import. And I can either import these images directly into our main folder, or I can create separate folders to put those images into. I'm going to grab this image, throw it into this block here at the top. Now let's go ahead and show you really quick how you can link a YouTube video. So I'm going to grab this YouTube video URL, paste it in here, and I can adjust the play icons, lightness, or the circle around it if I want. Then the other features that we have here is we have our button where we can change what's on the button. We can change the color of the button. We can round the edges a little bit more. We can change the padding to make it bigger or smaller. We can add a border around the button if we wanted.
Andy, you're making this look very easy.
It is quite easy to edit a template. So that gives you a basic idea of what you can do with a template. So what I'm going to do here really quick is I'm going to exit out of this template, and I'm going to show you one that I finished. So this is one of the templates that I created earlier. So we're advertising our roofing business here, giving options on the different type of shingles that we have here, a little bit of a video to show what weather's coming. And are you protected? We have a link here to our landing page to learn more about our products. And then we have our company address and our unsubscribe link and our link here to view in a web browser. Once we've gotten to this particular point, what we can do is we can get ready to send our email out. I did want to give you a little bit of a preview on how the mobile function works. So if I go over here on the Actions menu and I go to Preview, I can see the desktop view. This is what it's going to look inside of like Outlook. And then on a mobile device, this is what my email is going to look like on a mobile device. So it gives me an idea of what my audience is going to see on what media they're going to be viewing it on. So from here, I can either go up to drip marketing and I can create my workflow to send out this email campaign. Or if this is just a single send that I'm doing, what I can do is I can come over to our Actions menu here and I can choose Create Campaign. And that's what I'm going to do in this particular case. So here is our Create Campaign screen. And then I'm going to choose the groups, one of the groups that I created today to email to. So I'm going to choose my roofing dynamic because I want to choose contacts that have opted into my emails, that haven't bounced, haven't opted out, and I know have an email address in the email address field. So I'm choosing that. I have my from name. I have the email address that I'm sending from. I can change this email address to anything with the same domain that I have permissioned on my account. And then I can set up what email address I want the reply emails to come from as well. So once I have that all set up, I just click Create, and it's going to take us into our campaign. So what we have here is we have our workflow for how our campaign is going to be set up. Right now, I have my start, I have my email step, and then I have my end. Now let's say that I wanted to send an email today, but I also want to send 2 more emails over the next 3 weeks. What I can do is I can click on this step, choose Insert Action After, leave it on email, and click go, and that's going to add another email step. So I'm going to go ahead and click here on this bar to change the time interval, and I'm going to say, well, I want this to be 1 week from today, and I can also say do not send this email on weekends, just in case there might be a chance that it might send on the weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and click save on that, and then I'm going to add one more. I'm going to click on insert action after, another email stage, again time interval. I could choose a specific time and date if I wanted to, and choose my time zone, but I'm going to choose time interval. Again, 1 week after, so this is a total of 3 weeks that we have here. We have one that's going out today, one that's going out next week on Monday, and one that's going out the following week. So I can then go into each one of these campaigns, choose to edit the email content, I can import my template, set up my subject, and then return, and then I can go in and do my third one. Same type of thing. Change my properties. So now that we're ready to go ahead and send, I'm going to go up here to Actions and choose Activate. And then this is basically a checklist of things that need to be done in order to make sure our campaign is ready to go. So I have my campaign name. First email is going to be sent on activation. I don't have it syncing to check the dynamic group for new contacts every day, because I can set it up to do that with a higher level of the service with the nurturing component enabled. I have my from email address, my from name, whatever groups I'm including, and if I had an exclusion list, then it would be listed here. Now you'll see that I have two things checked off and we're good to go on 2 of my stages, but my third stage is missing something. And as you can see, I don't have a company address merge field in there, and I don't have my unsubscribe link. So I have to click there and choose edit, and then make sure I add that content to my template. Try this again. So we're going to go to special links, unsubscribe, click here to unsubscribe. I'm going to hit enter, put in my special merge tag here for the company address. I'm going to go up, save the template, return. And now, as you can see, I have 3 check marks and my campaign is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Activate Campaign. And this email has already started to send. As a warning, if you have this set to instant release, once you click Activate, that campaign goes, and there's no way to stop this first stage from going if I have it set to instant release. Those contacts will start moving down this tree and executing according to what I have set up. So if you don't want that to happen, make sure you set up a time interval that allows you a few minutes to change things if you want to. If I did decide to do that, I could click on Actions and then come here to pause and pause the campaign, make my changes, and then go back and then activate. But this email has started going out, and that covers the basics of creating our campaigns. Now, we did include a landing page inside of our templates, and to create that landing page, what I did here is I clicked on our landing pages. I came over here and chose roofing needs. Now, there's 2 different types of landing pages that I can create, and I'll give you guys an example real quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. So the 2 different types of landing pages that we have available are a standalone landing page, which is called Page Designer, and that is a web form or a landing page that can be used on its own. It doesn't require you to have a website to use. The second part is, or type, is My Website, and that is where you have a web form or a landing page already on your website, and all we're going to do is we're going to create code that you put on your website to put in the background that's going to capture the information that is filled out in your existing landing page or web form, and it's going to take that information and put it into your database for you. Now, the benefits of doing this is a really easy way to grow your contact database and get permission to email contacts. Because this day and age, you need to be aware that companies have to have explicit permission if you're going to be using any type of marketing platform. You have to have explicit permission for your contacts before you can email to them. You can't just purchase a list from somewhere and start emailing to people, because companies that own these marketing applications aren't going to allow you to do that, because it's really destructive to their IP address, their domain, and your domain. And it's just not a good way of doing business. So that's why these landing pages are so important. Whether you create a standalone one or you create a My Website and you capture information from your existing web form, it's a really powerful tool to get opt-in for the contacts that you're wanting to email to. So what we would do is we'd choose our page designer, give it a name. Smart tags is a way to search, kind of like in Twitter. If you wanted to sync this to an existing drip campaign and have all these contacts go into a drip campaign that you had already created, you could select that here under auto response. And you can choose whether you want duplicates to be allowed in the form or not. If you choose do not allow duplicates, it's not going to put new contacts into your ACT database. So be aware of that. If you choose do not allow duplicates and the email address already exists inside of your contact database, it will not update or add the contact to your ACT database. So if you want it to update existing contacts where the email addresses matches, you need to choose allow duplicate. For right now, I'm going to choose do not allow duplicates, and then I can choose which user inside of my database I want these contacts to be assigned to, or who I want the record manager to be as well. Once I'm done there, I just click create, and then I'm going to get a flow chart just like I did in the other one, where I can create my web page, which is the link down here. I can choose the skin, I can choose the questions that I want to add, and everything like that. So if I click in here, go to edit form, you'll see that we have no questions on our campaign or our landing page. I'm going to take a template really quick and just add that and get our basic questions. Click on preview page. And this gives you a basic idea of what I can have set up for a landing page in just a couple seconds. I'm going to go ahead and choose save and return, but I'm going to go back to landing pages and show you guys a completed one. So this is a completed landing page that I did previously. I created a skin for it. I asked for the full name, email address, company name, and phone number.
Hey, Andy, I think it's really important for people to know they can use any field in the contact record to be able to ask the question and put the data down into that field. I think that's really a powerful tool.
Correct. Right here, if you click on edit for this field value, I can click edit there, and what it's going to do is it's going to give me a list of ways to change this question. So I can make what I want the question to be, have the empty text message already in there. I can put a default value in there if I want. I can make this required or not required. I can set the width and the height of the box. And then this is the important part that we were talking about, where I can map this to an ACT field. So the option I have is to contact fields in my database, and then all of these fields in my database, I'm able to map this information to. So you can map to any of the fields inside of your database. So if you're looking to acquire more information about your contacts, like if I were looking to see what type of shingles they were interested in, I just simply need to put those questions on my landing page, and then that data will write directly back into those fields inside my database and update those fields.
Yeah, and building a landing page can be interchangeable as building a survey. So it's just depending on the use. You know, what type of information are you trying to gather? Who are you trying to gather it from? But it's very simple to set up.
Exactly. So that gives you an idea of what we have here to work with as far as landing pages and getting permission for your contacts without having to do a lot of work, where you have something like a survey tool that's available out there where you have to export the data that you get from the landing pages that you collect and then import them into your database. You take one of those steps away, in fact, a couple of those steps away, because I no longer have to assign these contacts to a specific person anymore either. I can say I want Betty to be the record manager of these contacts, and then when someone fills out this landing page, Betty knows that there's these new contacts in the database that she needs to address today. So it makes a lot of that extra work that you have to do to try and assign and monitor who's doing what and making sure that it gets done, and it makes it automatic. So that's where a lot of this power comes in. If I want to view the results of the landing page when someone fills something out, I can always come in here and view the results to see if anybody's filled out the landing page. Nobody's filled out this one.
We're getting questions about campaign results. Would you mind looking at those quickly, and then maybe we can go into more of the advanced features?
Absolutely. So to be able to look at your email statistics, what we can do is we can go into one of our campaigns that we've sent previously. Now, I did just currently send out this one, so I'm going to go ahead and click on open. This is the one that we made just a little bit ago. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's available. So I opened the email campaign, and you'll notice that it changed from the option to edit email content to view email statistics. So I'm going to go ahead and click on go to view those email statistics. So I have 12 members. I have 12 that were delivered with 100% delivery rate, 0 bounce, 0 unsubscribed, 11 total opens with a 91.67% unique open delivered. So there's only one contact that didn't open. So if we take a look, I'm going to go over here to unique opens, and you'll see that one of the emails didn't open this. So we can look at all those different statistics that we have here: delivered, complaints, bounce, drops, clicks. It'll give you the URL if there are clicks. We have unique clicks. We have our unsubscribed. We have our URL stats. We have our complaints. And then we can also export this data. But the need to export this data isn't necessary anymore, because we have this information that goes directly back into the database. Now, I can use this to give as a presentation to a board or something like that, but I don't have to export this data anymore into a CSV file and then do something with it. What I can do is I can click on contacts here, and I can go into this group that I created. I can come to my campaign results, and I can see the results for 3 hours for sure. I can come back in here, look at my contact, and I'm going to be able to see that information here in my contact. I have my campaign name. I have my subject line. I know what email address was the sender. I know what date they opened. I know how many times they opened. If they had any clicks, I can look at the clicks. I can look at the last date they clicked. I can look at the URL they clicked. I can even come over here to view and view the campaign that they clicked or that they opened. So I have all this information available, and I also have my bounce and my unsubscribed and complained. So I can create queries based on all of this information in here and create groups or lookups to follow up with these campaigns based upon that information.
And that's part of a way where you could get a call list. But maybe we could go into the advanced features and show how we can get some of those follow-ups onto the calendar. This is going to be in that premier level of the program.
Correct. So what I want to do here real quick is we're going to create another drip campaign by copying the one we just made. So I'm going to click on Actions, New Campaign. And then I select my group here. And I think this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my group of just my contacts. And I'm going to leave the from name the same and the email address is the same and click Create. Now what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be expanding upon these 3 stages that we have. So I have my first email that goes out, and it copies the information that I had from that campaign, including the subject lines and the templates that I had selected. So if I don't need to change any of the templates in there, I don't have to go back into there and edit those templates. If I do, then I can go in and edit those templates. But that's one of the nice features about this copy campaign is I can create an example, and then I can copy those campaigns over and over again to create my new campaigns and only change a few minor things. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to highlight this stage, and I am going to choose Change Action Type. Now we have a bunch of different action types. We have actions, call, decisions, event, and email. And then of course our end stage, which completes the cycle of the campaign. What I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to choose decision. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click go. So what a decision stage does is it says after this email is sent, I'm going to wait 1 week, and then I'm going to make a decision on what to do. I'm going to go ahead and remove this email. and I'm going to remove my end stage here. So on our decision, I'm going to be looking at the logic involved, and I'm going to say, I want to look and see if my email was opened from our first stage, don't get caught with a leaky roof this rainy season. So that's the email that I sent out. Now I have other options that are available in here. I can look on a call result. I can filter based upon a database field or value. So I can look at our database field values to look at that, but I can look at like maybe the company name equal to, and then I can put a field value in there for that, or greater than or equal to. I can use that field value. I can look for whether the email was opened. I can look for whether the email was clicked. I can look for a specific link being clicked, whether or not this email address is still in the list or not in the list. So those are the different options that I have available here to filter on. Now I may want to do email opened, click save, but then I can go a step further and I can add a new condition to this, and I can say I want to look for the email opened and clicked. So now I'm looking for any contacts where the email was opened and clicked. Now if I didn't want it to be an AND function, then I can remove one of these. So it's just clicked, and then I can come over here to actions and I can choose to add a new group, and then I can choose opened on that, and now my logic is email is clicked or opened. So it's looking for both. And then go ahead and click on save and return. So now that we have our decision set up where it's going to look for this email and it's going to say, I want emails that have opened or clicked. Now I need to say what I want to do with that. So I'm going to add my no branch if they didn't. And I'm going to have my no branch go to an email. And then I'm going to add my yes branch. And I'm going to have my yes branch go to an action. All right, so if they didn't open or click on something, they're going to get another email from me. If they did open or click on something, then we're going to get an action. And this is where we take the call list feature and we make it even more powerful than it was before. Because before with call list, what we had to do is we had to take that call list, look up that call list, and then start working that call list. Well, I can go a step further with marketing automation, and I can actually have it assign the contacts to a record manager to follow up on, and even put the meeting on my task list or calendar, and then have that record manager then decide what time of day they want to schedule those emails for. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Edit Actions here and go. And then the action types I have is it's going to send me a notification when I have it, so I could set it up so that I receive an email whenever somebody opens or clicks something. I can create an activity, and I can use the record manager of the particular contact if it's different people.
I noticed the other day you can even do custom activity types, so it'll show up in your list if it's part of your database. So that's a cool feature as well.
And just put a little note. And so it's going to create an activity on my calendar that is for June 10th campaign, letting them know that this contact clicked on the email and I should engage them. Then I can also add additional stuff here. So I could say, well, I also want to create an opportunity because the fact that they clicked on the link is an opportunity, or that they opened up the email is an opportunity. So I want to make sure that I put my opportunity in there so that I can track it. And we're going to choose a promotional sales cycle, and then we'll click save. So now I have a call that's going to be added to our campaign for everybody that opened and clicked, and an opportunity that's being created for everybody that clicked. And I can go on it and I can continue adding actions to this. But again, those actions are going to be your notifications, your create activity, create opportunity, add to a different drip campaign. You can add a contact directly to a group for follow-up. You can update a contact field, or you can remove them from the drip campaign altogether. And you might want to, on the no branch, consider adding an action and then removing the contact from the drip campaign if they didn't open it. That's also an option that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and click and save and return after I've done that. Now to complete this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and After they've said, yes, I want to receive an email, I'm going to insert another action after, and I'm going to make this instead a final email that advertises the event. Then after that email, I'm going to choose to insert an action after, put my final option in here to end that campaign, and then I have my drip campaign set up. Now you can get as advanced as creating out an entire year's worth of emails in here if you want. It depends on how devoted you are to setting up your marketing campaigns and getting things going. So it is possible to create a workflow and spend a couple weeks doing that, and then have that workflow work for you the entire rest of the year without having to invest a lot of time in it. So as you can see, this is where the automation piece becomes very valuable. And you can have information from your actions, from your landing pages, filtering back into your drip campaigns. You can have your group set up dynamically, so it's adding and removing contacts from the drip campaign all the time, so that you know which contacts are in there, so you don't have to touch them. From here, if you wanted to take a look at how this looks on your calendar, so I'm going to look at a monthly view here. So these are the contacts that came in from a meeting that I created from a task. If we look at our task list, you can just move these out to different dates when they come in on the campaign, or you can go to the calendar and you can drag and drop them to different dates that you need them to go to when they all come in. And that's how quickly and easy it is to follow up calls on there. I can put them on the same day and do them at a different time. So it takes that extra step of creating that call list out of the equation and puts it right there on their calendar. And what it does with the opportunities, it just creates the opportunities in here, and then you come in here and you update the information for your opportunities based upon what was created.
So is there any last things you wanted to show?
And so web activity allows you to look at, to put a script out on your website to track the volume of traffic and traffic that's coming in and out on your website and relate that directly back into your database. And then assets allows you to use PDF documents, video URLs, and regular URLs. And you can track those assets with a URL link and permission them based to pop a form to allow somebody to continue. To give you an example here, here's one that I did for karate. We go in and edit it. And when I click on the link that's created for this asset, it's going to pop the asset that I created, which is a PDF document. And before I can actually look at this document, I have to fill out this form to allow me to continue to go through. Now I can say that I'll allow them to cancel it if I want to when I create this asset, or that they can't go any further until they filled this out. And this is just another method to obtain information about my client database or to grow my database. If I have a list of videos, training videos, where I have a list of instructional documents, I can put a form on each one of those documents before someone is allowed to go through, and that way I can obtain information about those contacts and possibly gain new leads. And then it'll track right here how many impressions, that's how many times somebody's clicked on it, and then the leads created is going to tell you how many contacts we've created based upon these assets in there. So it gives you that information, and then you can also track that through our web activity here. And you can see who's filled out that campaign or that information. And I can even look at a dashboard and see more information about these contacts, who's filled it out, and so on. If I go into the individual asset itself, and I look at the dashboard for the asset, I get even more information where I can see the location of where each asset was that clicked on the campaign. So if I created an asset and I saw that everybody in the southeast part of the country was clicking on this, then I would know where I need to have my sales team focus on this particular asset. So it can be very valuable information to have. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys here before we wrap things up is our dashboards for our drip marketing. So we have all of the drip marketing campaigns that I've sent. If I go to Actions and Dashboard, then it can give me an overview of all of the drip campaigns that I've sent over a certain amount of time. I can change the time intervals and compare the two together. Like I could pop this back to January, hit refresh, and then we'll get all the information all the way back to January, how many total emails I sent. Gives me email addresses down here. Tells me the campaign names if I wanted to take a look maybe at what happened with a specific campaign. I can see, if I've had any bounces and maybe go look back and look at those bounces. I can export this information to an Excel spreadsheet if I wanted to. And then the very last thing that I have available here in my campaigns is something that we call our calendar. This is a really neat feature that allows you to see what marketing campaigns you have going out. As you can see, this is my calendar for the month, and these are the different campaigns that I have scheduled to go out for the rest of the month based upon it. If I wanted to go in and edit an individual stage for these campaigns, all I have to do is just double click on it, and it's going to take me right into that campaign so I can edit it. And I can look at my day, week, or month for that. I can also filter based upon who's the owner of the campaigns that are out there. In our ultimate templates, and that we can show here under drip marketing. If I go back into my templates.
Yeah, and you mean the ultimate tier.
Campaign, I can on week 2 here go in and edit my email content, and there's a feature inside of our campaigns that a lot of marketing professionals like to use, which is called A to B testing. Now, what A to B testing does is it allows me to send 2 different emails to the group, and then I can decide which email based upon which one has the best results that I want to move forward with from here on out. And so if I choose enable A to B testing, it allows me to select a different template or even the same template, and I just make the subject line different between the 2 different stages. So what it'll do is it'll break your campaign and send half of your list to one of the templates and half of your list to the other template. And then you look at the statistics for those two different templates, and you'll say, okay, template A had better response, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward with template A from now on with the rest of my campaigns. So it's a marketing tool to see which layout works better. Then the final thing that we have is our progressive profiling inside of our landing pages. And what this allows you to do is click here, and I can actually put end actions in here or change action types. So under end actions, what I can do with this is I can send out a notification. I can create an opportunity out of my landing page, create an activity out of my landing page, add them to a group directly from here. I can add them to an event inside of my drip marketing campaign, or I can add them to a drip, or I can update a contact field. So once someone goes through and fills out that landing page, I can have it go to this step afterwards and have it do that. And I can even add additional decisions and stuff like that afterwards. So I can say, well, I want to change this instead to a decision. And then I can edit the logic for the decision, where we have the results for a question, where the full name is equal to, or the email address is equal to something, or maybe what roofing products they're interested in is equal to, we'll say asphalt, because I'm looking for mainly my asphalt customers. So I hit go, and then it'll take those customers that meet that criteria and it'll put them down. And that's how we get our progressive profiling to know what we're going to ask them next. We can even have them lead to another survey after this decision based upon whatever they fill out in the first one. So it shows you that there are very valuable tools that we have available in here.
So thank you for that demo. That was fantastic. But let's go ahead and we'll wrap things up. So I'm going to send the presentation to everybody on the call, and I just created some usage ideas. You can use it in any of those base packages that we showed you, all 3 packages. And then there's going to be some additional use ideas for the Premier package. So when you add some more automation, what can you do with that? And again, you'll get a copy of these slides. Marketing automation, the Growth Suite, it does come with some onboarding onboarding, as well as it has training videos to learn the system. Those are already provided, but if you need additional help, we are here. We don't want you to buy a product and not be able to use it, so we do have services available to help you use the system and any training you need. And with that, I want to thank you. If you don't know who your representative is and you need some more information, please send an email to sales@actplatinum.com, and we'll get you connected with your representative and be able to answer any questions you have about moving to the new system. And with that, I thank everybody, including our rock star Andy. Thank you so much for the demo. Thank you, team, and thank you for attending today.